I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I want to make sure that I understand you correctly. So what you're saying is if we took that dollar that right now is earmarked, and 47 cents of that dollar is going for compliance issues, regulatory issues, right? You're saying we would actually have more of that dollar to give to the actual student?
Certainly the goal.
Wow, what a concept. Who could not be for that? I just don't understand. If our goal is truly to educate the student, who would not be for giving more money to the student?
Not only giving more money to the students, but to make sure that parental rights are protected, that parents have more say-so in the curriculum that their students are being taught, that they understand what is going on in the classroom. And I urge parents to take a more active role in their students' education. I think that teaching is one of the most noble professions in our country, but they do need support. They need support at home, and I think parents can, and many parents are so involved, but I urge parents to become more involved in school board elections and just attending those meetings that impact their children.
So it's actually a good thing when parents show up at school board meetings, and it's really a good thing when parents are involved. They're not terrorists or whatnot. That's a good thing. We actually want parents involved in the students' education.
Absolutely.
To that end, I know parents have the right to opt out of specific lesson plans for their child if it goes against their specific religious belief or whatnot. But I believe at times it's difficult for the parent to get that done. What do you see moving forward to make it easier for parents to opt their child out of something that they don't want them involved in? How do you see that happening?
Well, there again, that's really part of the local education system, and the Department of Education does not have jurisdiction or control over that. I would just urge parents, though, independently, to continue to approach their school boards, their individual schools, the teachers, and the superintendents to make their voices heard.
And with that, my time has expired. Thank you all for all of your work to getting actual more dollars to where it should go to the actual students.
I thank the gentlelady.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I recognize the gentleman from California, Mr. DeSaulnier.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask unanimous consent to enter into the record a statement from the National Disability Rights Network discussing how the Department of Education's proposed budget cuts would eliminate critical programs that provide advocacy service to individuals with disabilities.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, thank you for being here today. I'm particularly interested in your comments and your background as a person who comes from the private sector business about how you create efficiencies. And to one person's bureaucracy, another one is a good valued employee, whether it's the public or private sector. I want to start by reading a quote from a federal judge who stopped the closure of the Department of Education and layoffs. Judge John said that in regards to the layoffs of this scale, quote, will likely cripple the department. The idea that the defendant's actions are merely a reorganization is plainly not true. She goes on to say, a department without enough employees to perform statutory mandated functions is not a department at all. This court cannot be asked to cover its eyes while a department's employees are continuously fired and units are transferred out until the department becomes a shell of itself. So this is in the context of you're eliminating staff, bureaucrats, I think, to your words. The judge clearly disagreed with you. And in the context of special education, where we've seen students, the number of special education students in the last 10 years doubled. I don't know if you've ever sat down with a parent or a special ed educator and try to work with them and see what they have to go through to get the services that they are statutorily allowed to do, signed by President Gerald Ford, the IDEA program. Have you ever done that? Have you met with special ed kids and their parents?
Yes, I have, and I was very involved in Special Olympics for a good time and started that program in my prior profession and was astounded at all of the programs that we need for those students, and very, very heart-rendering sometimes, the stories with those parents.
So when President Ford signed that bipartisan bill, the federal government promised in 1974, if memory serves me, that we would pay 40% of IDEA. Do you know what that number is now and historically has been?